Welcome back, everyone. A very good race filled with some inter-team controversy, as they say it in England, and some surges from some other names that we didn't expect to see some surges from. All in all, great race. But as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all things the fellas. Zandvoort, guys. We're gonna lead right in. We're gonna start where we want to start. Is Ferrari playing fair? Simon, cue you up.
I take my time today because it was very frustrating to see what happened today for Ferrari and Lewis and Charles to be specific. Today, I think Ferrari really messed up Lewis as far as getting a podium,
Mhm.
increasing his points advantage. I think Charles is becoming, even though I know he's well liked, everybody loves Charles on the circuit. Everybody has nothing but good things to say to him. I just think he's a freaking different personality when he gets in that car. He wants to win everything and he doesn't really care who he tramples over. And I think you do need a little bit of that when you're in Formula One or competing at a high level in a professional level. But man, your own teammate. So yeah, I think the team orders, Charles, Lewis, everyone in Ferrari messed up an opportunity to be on the podium. And with Lewis being second in points, right now he should be the man until things change.
Yeah, I agree. Ray?
Well, I think this Ferrari has a conundrum in multiple levels, right? Because Charles been their boy before Lewis. However, they want the fame and recognition that Lewis brings, right, to the
Mm,
team. And Lewis right now is ready to strike that nail to be champion, right? And as usual, for a race team that has so much history, we get a kerfuffle, right? And yeah, well, Charles is out for himself, and that's basically where it is. There's no team thing there. I think Lewis has more team empathy and pursuit than Charles does. Charles out for himself, right? And it showed to me that really Ferrari does not have the wherewithal to do what they need to do. That's basically what it showed to me today.
well,
And just to
I
add to
find.
that,
Go ahead, Simon.
Ralph, I think Ray is correct. I think especially today, um, all right, I'm a competitor. I like winning, but when I have a teammate that I know I'm going to need during the season, and I know he has fresher tires, and I know his pace is a lot quicker than mine, and I'm getting ready to go into the pit anyway, just let him go.
Yeah, yeah. So what I found, I agree with the both of you. And Ray said something that kind of tickled my mind there in the sense of basically what you're saying is they want all the knowledge um, and the marketing portion that Lewis brings, but they're not gonna allow him to beat their chosen one, even if he has an opportunity to win. That's interesting. I don't know, but looking at it from the point of view is like, yeah, it was messed up. Lewis had fresher tires, and then Charles pitted 2 laps later when he came in. And here's the thing: when they came in to tell him to pit, Charles was like, "No, I don't want to pit." So it's Charles's team. It's Leclerc Racing, is what they're said right there, right? Because the Ferrari that I know of old would have been like pit now, right? But none of that happens. And then I'll move into it. Then at the end of the race, since we're talking about Ferrari, then at the end of the race, what he did tripped up Lewis that he could not attack George to get that third place, right? Because he came in to attack Lewis, and that then Lewis had to go into defending. I don't know, man. They got to rein this guy in. I mean, I know people are going to say, oh, that's racing, but you know what? For the team, that extra place would have been more points. But in
Well,
Charles's mind, he don't want Lewis to have it. Go ahead.
Well,
Ray.
I'll say this also. The team let down Lewis because Lewis went in for wanted tires, and they couldn't tell him which tires they were going to put on the car, right? He had to say to them, hey, figure it out. I'm driving, right? And when they called Lewis and asked him for the tires, I agree with the commentator that they should have said, hey, man, you're 1 point something seconds behind everybody else, right? So Lewis would understand that, yeah, his tires feel good, but it's a lie to him. He needs to move off of those tires, right? So again, it's
Well,
suppose he has all this, provenance, dude. I don't see that.
Yeah,
I don't see
Simon.
Yeah, and then Lewis made a statement about, well, what am I, a guinea pig out here? Why am I not coming in for tires, right? So that means there's a disconnect. And then the other thing that I think is important, right, for Richard Leclerc, is, the last 2 laps as he was getting ready to pass Russell, the stewards called a virtual safety car to clean up the debris. He would have passed them.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm wondering, was the debris really in the way? Was it really? You see a podium battle going on, and you're worried about what? 2 laps left in the race, that something major is going to happen with 2 laps left. A podium challenge is happening in front of you, and the stewards go, let's do a virtual safety car. Forget about the fans. Forget about what the fans want to see. Let's make it very, very, very safe.
Well, I think I want to know if secretly you stole Ray's cap, because now you're a conspiracy brother when you're thinking that that's what they're doing. Yeah. But hey, we don't know until we know, right? But I look at it as, like I said, Charles's move on Lewis. Now, he's trying to set up George. He's trying to set up George, but Charles does not want him to have that. He doesn't want him to have a podium. Go ahead.
Right, so let me just put the final name. Back at the Red Bull ring, right? Lewis came behind Charles with better tires on, right? And Charles knew that he was going to go pit the car, to go in the pit, and battle his ass all the way up to, and then cut across his nose to dive into the pit.
The pits, yeah.
So again, we know where Charles stands. Charles out for himself, right? And the question is, where does Ferrari stand? Right? Which side are they on? You know what I'm saying? And I think I'll go back to what you said, that they want the notoriety that Lewis brings and all the exposure, but maybe they don't want Lewis to be the one that makes the achievement. They want their boy Charles to do it.
Yeah, the experience that he also brings to the team, right? Because that's the behind the scenes that we don't see, that he's helping them streamline their process, and we know they need it. They're the ones that you can have that victory in sight, and they will throw it away in a second with some stupid call. So anyway, Simon, you had one more thing to close this out?
Yeah, so I'm not calling him Charles anymore. It's Richard.
Richard? Why Richard?
Because all the dick moves he's been making. Richard Leclerc.
I like that. I like that. So moving into Lando Norris. Is he charging back? Is Lando charging back? This is his second win, right? Yep. He closed out right before summer break, and he came back in. He was strong this weekend. What do you think? I mean, what do you think, Simon?
I think he's showing us and showing everybody else, even his teammate Piastri, that he's a championship driver. Now, all the things we used to doubt about him a year ago or the year before, I don't doubt about him anymore. I know if he has a decent car, he's going to put up decent numbers. And if he has a great car, he's going to win. So, yeah, he is charging back. I think everybody needs to be scared. Antonelli needs to be scared. George needs to be scared. Lewis needs to be scared. You don't have to worry about Richard Leclerc right now. But, yeah, everybody needs to be scared that Lando is coming back. And I'm a little worried about Piastri. I'm not, what's going on with him. I'm thinking they have the same upgrades in the same car, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Ray? With Lando?
So I'll say this. Lando is Zach's boy. Piastri's second string right now. That's where it's at. They fumble with, even a pit stop for it, they fumble. So it's Lando's team, and I'm sad to say that, and Oscar knows it. He has a tremendous mountain to climb if he wants to change that. I don't see that really happening.
So you're saying it's kind of like what Checo said of Red Bull, where they said basically it's Max's team, and if we could run it with one car, we would. You think that's what Zach is conveying to Oscar?
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, listen, I'll say this. Yeah, they love Lando. I think it's more Lando's team than Oscar. But then again, Lando is world champion. Oscar isn't. And we discussed what we thought may have happened to him there. But Lando, nonetheless, drove a good race. He looked like a world champion out there. Poised, controlled, aggressive when he needed to be. He was calculating, strong. I thought he drove
any mistakes.
Did not make any mistakes. I think he drove a really good race, and I'm happy for him that he got that win. I'm happy for him that he got that win within the team. Yeah, I think it is Lando's team. It's pretty certain. Just like we're seeing it, Lewis is going up against it's Charles's team. So that's how it goes. So I was shocked when I was watching in the opening laps when I saw a Red Bull car spin off and get obliterated by the wall. I thought it was Liam at first. I was like, yeah, Liam. And then when I found out it was Max, I was like, what? Max Verstappen? And then to see the replay and how it happened, that's a rare mistake from Max. I don't know. Rare, very rare mistake from Max. But his fans, there's a lot of orange in that stand, and I know the majority of it is for Max. It's not for Red Bull. It's not papaya orange for them. It's for Max. So big disappointment on both sides for Max, Red Bull, and his fans. Ray, what do you feel?
Well, when you do high performance driving education stuff, they always say when it's wet, stay off the curbing, stay off the paint. And that's what happened to Max today. He went a little too low, and
we lost Ray. Well, yeah, he went a little too low. Yeah, he went a little too low. Came on the power right on that wet. It's like wet leaves. We're driving in the winter. Wet leaves can be like ice, and you hit it in a rear wheel drive car coming in a corner. God help you. You're gone.
Yeah, and I'm worried. I'm worried for Max because when you have significant crashes within a home race or some embarrassment or humbling, sometimes it changes your aggression going forward, right? So I'm hoping it doesn't change his aggression. He is one of the best, if not the best driver right now in Formula One. And he has good competition coming up behind him, I think. And I want to see the competitiveness between Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari. I want to see all of that, right? So I hope that we get a chance to see him come back from this and compete. And Liam did a great job today.
Oh yeah,
absolutely great job.
Yeah, Liam did a really good job doing that. But I think Max will shake this off. He's a world champion. I think Max will shake off this little mistake. Like I said, a rare mistake from him. And he's going to be the same old Max that we know, charging. And if you're sleeping, he's going to get you. Even if you're awake, he's going to try to get you too. So saying that, I want to take a moment with Yuki just before we move off of Max and the disappointment. I mean, Yuki did okay. I was hoping he would have been a little stronger, but he did okay. It was nice to see him back on the grid. I put it that way. Like, even though it was temporary, we probably won't see him again, unless there's another situation like that.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's, he came in and filled his position, which he should have, right? And let's see if anybody picks him up next year. I know he was thinking about going to Indy, from what I understand. But coming in 11th, just almost 1.1 position short of getting points, I think was good. Right. Yeah. So I think he did well. I think he, qualified well. He was right behind his teammate. I think he's still. I'm wondering if this experience for him is going to humble him a little bit. Still have to the aggression and
Mhm.
humble him, and the team is going to pick him up.
Yeah, I, I don't think he's coming back to F1, other than in how he did now. Like if I don't know. For me, it's how can I put it? It's kind of I feel it for the drivers because they basically discarded you,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, our main guy got hurt. We need some fill-ins. Hey, we want you back. So it's I mean, my personality, would want to be like, oh hell no, screw you. I'm not coming
So
back.
if you're Yuki,
But yeah. But
there's so much money to be made in Formula One, and that's the pinnacle. You want to be there,
yeah.
right?
And you're hoping to get picked up again.
Right. And if you feel that the circumstances of your departure wasn't totally your fault or wasn't
Mhm.
totally under your control, of course you want a second chance.
Yeah.
Because you need to prove to yourself that yeah, I belonged in Formula One. And I think he deserves a second chance. I don't think he was a bad driver. I think he was just driving for the wrong team.
Yeah. No,
Right?
I don't think he was a bad driver. I don't think he was a bad driver at all. But it was nice to see him back. But
Yeah. Speaking of which,
speaking of which, welcome back. So here's my question. Here's my question for you guys. Is Mercedes throwing George out with the bathwater? That's the question. Because it was interesting to me that they asked him to, well, let me rephrase that. It's interesting to me that they told him to move over, to let Kimi through. To which George is like, is he going for a win? But he had to move over. Interesting. I don't know. I think Mercedes is now they're backing Antonelli full, and George is the blocker guy for them. What do you think, Simon?
I think it was circumstantial, this race. I think because of the tire strategy and where he had the hard tires that he had on. He had the medium tires, actually, that he had on for a long time. Kimi was going to pass him no matter what because he just didn't have the tires. What George was worried about was Lewis passing him, and he should have been. And Lewis should have passed him. Lewis had two opportunities to pass him. He didn't get it done, and the virtual car came in and just kind of screwed it up for him. And then Charles came and put the exclamation
Screwed it up again.
But I think strategy-wise, Kimi is first in points, and George tires were almost shot. Why not let your number one driver, in the sense that he has the most points, pass you without having to race you? And that's kind of how I see it. If I'm a team player, if I'm truly a team player, and I know I'm second, third in the points, but my teammate is eventually going to pass me anyway, why battle?
So just before I jump to you, Ray, so there it is, right? Between Ferrari and Mercedes. Mercedes came through and just set it straight, move over, right? Now, when Ferrari told Charles to pit, maybe it was also to give Lewis that open track to run. But when you see that your boy is not listening, that's when it should have come from the pit wall. Move over and let him through. He's faster, fresher. Move over and let him through.
Different tire strategy.
Doesn't
make any sense.
Different. Yeah, but I'm just saying from the pit wall perspective, right? It's like, where is that? So that's why it does seem like it's, as you call him, Richard Leclerc's team, and Lewis is trying to break in. But anyway, Ray, I kind of stole away with that.
No, I don't have to say anything. You said it. The writing is there, right? That the writing is there. They're afraid to tell the dude, yo, move the car over.
Right.
So,
but as far as Mercedes and George, do you agree with Simon's perspective?
George is what I told you, man. It's Kimi's championship to lose. He's Toto's boy. All right? Just get it straight, and then we won't have more problems. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, that says it all right there. All right, driver standings. What now that we're pretty much further down in the season, Kimi is still has a commanding lead over there over George and everyone else. Lewis and George are tied. No, well, George is in second. I'm sorry, George is in second place, and Lewis is in third, and Lando in fourth. Simon, anything?
No, I'm. To me, the battle right now is George and Lewis. I think I'm hoping Ferrari, Richard Leclerc, and Lando battle it out a little bit more. But Lando's coming. If Lando wins another race, I feel sorry for Lewis and Russell. I really do. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
So you're saying Lando would be on target for a good second place finish this season?
No, I'm not saying that because he's. I mean, Kimi is only 59 points ahead of George. That's two races and a sprint race, right? So, and all he has to do is DNF. I mean, it's a five person race right now. Yeah, and I am including Richard Leclerc, but yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get there. Ray, what are your thoughts?
Well, again, it's Kimi to lose, and Lewis doesn't have a team behind him that can help him, push forward and be competitive. My opinion.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yes, that's true. I think so. Well, that's the inter-team battle that he has to fight, and I think he's up to that challenge. But I would like to see Kimi win it this year. I would love to see that. I think he's been driving great. He deserves that number one. And sadly, I don't think it's going to be George's year for it. I just don't. I don't know. The stars just aren't aligning for him. It doesn't seem. It hasn't been, and I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to still. Kimi is going to be the favorite. Go ahead.
Don't forget about last year. I mean,
That's
we all
true.
thought it was Piastri's. Even they said last year this time, Max was down 100 points.
Oh yeah,
and came back and almost won.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm just saying.
But I think
we were always like Piastri's to lose, blah 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 blah, and Lando came and won. So
I think George just has some bad juju on him for this year, and I just don't think he. There you go. And I don't think he's going to be able to break that. So I'd be shocked if it was George. I would be shocked if George passes Kimi. That's just what I'm saying. I think Kimi's out on his own right now, and if no DNFs, he'll be good. Constructors. We haven't spoken about the constructors yet, but now's a good time. Mercedes, as we know, still up in the lead. Ferrari and McLaren. Red Bull's hanging in there in fourth place, though. Ray, what do you think about the constructors standing so far?
Well, Ferrari, it's for them to lose it if they don't get their stuff straight, right?
Wow.
And so that's where
Ferrari
my focus is.
You said
Ferrari can lose their position if they don't get their stuff
place.
straight. Yeah. So, they need to wake up.
That's true because McLaren knows what they're doing, but if they get both cars firing in, they may do it. But the way Charles and Lewis are going, they might take each other out in a race somewhere before this season's over, because I think after this one, it's going to be a lot stickier over there. I think it's going to be a lot stickier. So yeah, Ferrari could find themselves, well, put it this way. They need to do like what I said before. They need to manage from the pit wall. The drivers work for them. They don't work for the drivers. They need to start telling. And maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're favoring Charles. And that's what they want. But anyway, predictions. Who you think is going to win the next race? Simon?
So the next race is Austria?
Yes.
Monza.
Monza.
Yes, Monza. That's what I wanted to say. Monza. It's going to give it's Mercedes has great inline speed as far
Straight
as
line, straight line speed.
straight line speed. Thank you.
Mhm.
So it's going to be tough for Ferrari, and McLaren kind of has the same straight line speed as well. So I'm going to have to go with Mercedes and McLaren on this, unless there's an upgrade to Ferrari, right? So Ferrari was able to find their wings and find themselves this race and be able to compete after the sprint. But I'd be interested to see how McLaren does. So give you the prediction, Simon. I'm gonna say Russell, Kimi, and Lando.
Okay, Russell, Kimi, and Lando. Okay, Ray.
Kimi, Max, Lando.
Okay. Kimi, Max,
You don't think
Lando.
Max
I
is
like-
embarrassed and he's gonna take him a little bit to get back into his mojo?
Nope. He's gonna put Kimi off the track.
You think so? Okay. So you don't think so? I think it would be. I think it's going to be Kimi again. I think it's going to be Kimi. George will be third, and I'm going to say that Richard Leclerc is going to be second.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
fighting.
if George doesn't podium
Mhm.
in Monza, I'm gonna have to concede and say it's Kimi's to lose.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. I'm telling you, George. I don't know.
He
The stars on the line.
He has to stay close and hope for some good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it in the star charts for Georgia. I think he's done. I think this was a shot. But anyway,
So before we
go ahead.
I have a question for both of you before we go. You
The
guys
answer
not
is
worried-
no.
You guys not worried about Piastri at all?
He's out the picture, bro.
Yeah, I don't think
They're
so.
trying to do
talking
him like
about
they
up
do
here.
Lewis. No,
Huh?
Piastri's in there, but his team's fumbling. You see the tire change they did on him today?
Well,
He's not Zach Boy no more.
I think and I may have said it before. Piastri is in the spot where George is. It's like when something bad's gonna happen, it's always on your car.
It's B team time, baby.
Yeah,
That's what it is. B team time.
So I think, and then that's demoralizing for the drivers as well. So then you might not get the best from them, like they don't feel. They're accidents, they're mistakes. I know that happen, but it can weigh on the driver as well. So, yeah, that's what I feel with Oscar. I think that he's still there, but I think it's Lando. I think everybody's backing him, so Oscar might be a little turned down as a result. But anyway, everyone, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next for the Grand Prix of Monza. As always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date on all things the fellas, and hit the notification bell. Take care.
Peace.